thousands dead or missing and tens of thousands injured. Millions of Filipinos displaced after Typhoon Haiyan hit the Philippines on November 8th. Marina Lopez from West Springfield grew up in that same exact spot and still has family members living there today. She's a member of PAMAS, the Filipino-American Association of New England. They're trying to help as many of their fellow Filipinos out as possible. Marina, thank you so much for joining me today. And we were kind of talking about this off camera a little bit before we started the segment about just the disaster, the devastation that has hit in this area. When it first happened, what was your when you first heard about it happening, what was your first thought? What immediately came to your mind?
I began to worry because I didn't know how to get them. And then on November 8th, all the connection was gone. I couldn't get in touch with my brother, my nieces, on different town, and I was on Facebook the whole time just to get in touch with everyone who is on the same town, hoping that I can have a connection with them. And a few days later after that, people are posting information and so forth, and then it was hard because there's no way I can get in touch with them.
And I'm sure people here were like, Marina, how's your family doing? They want to make sure they're okay, and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was a few of my friends are asking how they were, and it was just it was not knowing what they're doing and where they are. They're displaced, and will be taken care of. It was just it was an agony inside. There's one point that one of my neighbor back in Cebu was telling me that, at that point I was able to get in touch with my mom in the city of Cebu.
Okay. And was that around the same time you finally got in touch with your brother? It took you almost a week. Okay, so you got in touch with your mom first.
Yeah, I got in touch with my mom first.
Okay.
And I asked her how they're doing, will they able to get in touch with them? Nothing. And every time I talked to her, she just broke down, and so come to the point that I didn't want to ask her. But about a few days ago, I was able to get in touch with my brother. They had, talking about everything, what happened to them. They had to get out from the shelter because of what's going on in the shelter. People are getting sick, and imagine he has 5 kids, and he was hoping to get back to his home, but to get there, it was gone.
What was it like that? It took a week for you to get in touch with your brother. What was that week like when you had no idea, and to finally, not just what the week was like, but to finally speak to him and just hear his voice? It must have overwhelmed you to know he's alive, he made it through when so many didn't.
Right. It was overwhelming. I was just thanking myself that, thank God that they're okay, but they're homeless. And listening to him crying that, please help us, and it's just, for me, it just broke down.
Oh, I'm sure. And they have so much that you're right, they're homeless, they have nothing. They have their lives, but they can't, even in the shelter, people are dying around them, they're sick around them, and they can't get supplies to them. What is something that your brother said we're so desperate in need of? What are some things that he mentioned they need over there?
A home, a shelter. I mean, they were in a shelter, but they had to get out in the shelter because of there's a lot of going on in the shelter. They're fighting over food. They're fighting something just to be able to survive. And the kids are getting sick. People died in the shelter, and they can't. According to him, he can't stay there. He has to get out. But for him to get out of the shelter, not knowing whether his home's still standing, it wasn't. So, according to him, when I spoke to him on the phone, he was recycling the leftover from his home to make it a little kind of a toy house. for them to be able to stay there. And then at that day, they have another typhoon. It's called Sarita. It wasn't as bad as the Yolanda, and they were just there. And he has to go up to the valley to get a connection. So what he did, he texted me first, and he said to me, "I'm in the mountain right now. Can you please call me back?" So I did, and that was the when I get that text message, it was a relief, but not quite everything was done yet, because I haven't heard from my nieces and my brother-in-law from Leyte. Leyte is the town where the city where the all wipe out, but where my nieces are, they were in Bye City. They didn't get hit big, but they're slightly. They didn't have power, everything. There's no cell site connection. I wasn't able to hear from them, so what I did, I sent my nephew back in Cebu City to go there to find them. It took him about a day and a half to find them.
Did he find them?
Yes, finally. But both of them are homeless, so that's the thing. I said, oh, well, at least everything is okay right now.
What is your brother saying is their biggest struggle right now? He's got to make sure the house is livable for them to live in, but food and water and just the necessary things to survive. How is he going to find that for his family?
He is a freelance person. He builds houses. We call it here, I think it's an all-around man. He makes houses. So for him, losing his house, if he's not capable to do that, I don't think where they would be. Like what I said, he's recycling his home. His house is gone. He just put it together so they were able to, to have a roof, a shelter for them. Food-wise, they're getting food now. They were able, just as of yesterday, they were able to get some supply, food, water, from the town. As far as a home, like this morning when I spoke to him, he was asking still need some help to like a roofing for the house or some kind of the flooring or something. For me, as a sister, I'm willing to help as much as I can.
But you want to help so much. You're putting together kind of your own mini relief drive. You and friends are getting together. You're going to send some stuff to your family. Talk about that.
Yes. I sent one of my friends, my daughter went to school in St. Thomas in West Springfield. They're very nice about putting things together. So one of my friends told me that, write a letter, talk to them about how they can help you, even just, clothing for kids and stuff. So I did that, and my friends were giving me some boxes of clothing as well. So, things come together,
Well, we wish your family and your brother, and next time you talk to him on the phone, please tell him that, we can send help, we can send relief, but most of all, we're sending our thoughts and prayers with them that they pull together. So please keep us updated.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on board.
I will.